Well, hello, and welcome to the Tea with Tea. Today, I'm going to be talking about change and embracing it. At one point in my life, I found myself rejecting change. I will say that for most of my life, I more or less have always embraced change. The way I grew up, we were always moving, I was changing schools, so change was normal to me. But there was a point in my life where change started to feel scary, so I started to reject it. And that was actually a point in my life where I felt the least like myself. I'm not a person that really has an identity. Like, I don't say I am this way and that's just who I am. I'm constantly changing. So, what is for me today may not be for me tomorrow. And I find that my life flows a lot better embracing that change and being okay with this is how I am today, but may not be how I am tomorrow. And I feel like a lot of people reject that. Like, no, this is who I am. This is who I have to be. I can't change. Honestly, that's one of the biggest things I remember hearing when any kind of relationship would end in my life was you've changed. Well, yeah, I most definitely have. And honestly, I kind of wish you have too. Everybody can change. Unfortunately, most people don't. So when you change, grow, evolve, a lot of people will stop associating with you simply because they're unable to do the same. And they don't realize that they don't like you anymore because you're growing and they're not. It's almost as if it's from a place of jealousy or envy and they don't even realize it. But that's what it is. They're unable to grow and change and evolve, and you are. So of course they're gonna be like, oh, you've changed, I can't be around you anymore. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, I'd rather hear that than have someone stick around with their negative energy, having these negative thoughts and feelings towards me. Like, don't stick around if you're uncomfortable with who I am, or if you're uncomfortable with the fact that I changed so much. Because I'm not going to stop changing. I'm not going to stop being who I am, which is someone who is constantly changing. Yeah, there are certain values and morals that I hold to because obviously murder is bad. I don't believe you should just kill people. And that's not going to change. But for the most part, who I am as far as my personality, what I like, where I like to go, things like that, is constantly changing. And that's okay. And if you're like that, learn to be okay with that. Don't reject it. And if you're not like that, I mean, that's okay too. You know, everyone is who they are. Some people prefer to have a set knowing of who they are and stay that way. And that's okay. That's fine. If that's how you want to be, make sure that the people around you know that, and don't be upset if as they grow and change, they kind of distance themselves from you because they no longer mesh with who you are because they've changed. Or find other people that are the same way, that know who they are and want to stay that way. They don't want to change. They want to be that person because they just are okay with who they are and satisfied and don't want to change. And that's fine. Like, I'm not hating on people who are like that. That's just not who I am. I've known plenty of people who are successful and are the same. We're the same knowing them years ago and are the same now and still successful. Because everybody's different. Everybody can be successful in different ways. And that's okay. But if at all possible, learn to be okay with change. Because even if you as a person don't change, life changes. Other people change. So learn to be okay with that. Learn to embrace that and roll with it. Because whenever you get too stuck into a routine and then things start to change, things that are out of your control start to change, it's almost detrimental. You could have, panic attacks, or your whole day, week, month, year is ruined simply because things that are out of your control have changed. Don't allow that. Don't do that to yourself. Be aware that things can change, even though you may not want them to, even though you may try your hardest to keep things in a routine or however you want them. Just know that it is possible that everything in this life can change. And just learn to roll with the punches. Learn to roll with it. Because if you don't, you're just going to be upset. You're going to waste your energy being sad and upset or mad that things are changing that you can't control. You might even try to fight to get them back to where they were, which may be possible under certain circumstances. But in general, once things change, they're changed. And typically when things change, it's for the better. Now, if it's not for the better, obviously you may want to take steps to try and get it back to where it was, or change it in a different way that does make it better. But in general, Stop resisting change. Embrace it. Find the good in the change. Because for all you know, you may be set in your ways, set in your routine, but then this change happens that's out of your control, and somehow you may enjoy it better this way. You will never know until you experience it. So when you get too stuck in things being a certain way, you may actually be holding yourself back from having better, more joyous experiences. Why would you want to do that to yourself? You shouldn't, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, of course. But people who resonate with my content, I feel like will understand where I'm coming from and hear what I'm saying, you know? If you don't resonate with this, that's fine. Then this just isn't for you, and that's fine. Like, I'm a small creator, and I'm okay if that never changes. So if this doesn't resonate with you, keep scrolling, you know? Like, that's completely fine. And if it does resonate with you, if it does resonate with a bunch of people, then amazing, great. Like, that's what I want to be able to help people. And so I hope that this does reach people that it resonates with. And I hope that you share it with people that you think it'll resonate with. Because I think that the lesson of learning to stop resisting change and embracing it is so important for everyone. And honestly, if we were taught this as children, I feel like the human race would probably be a lot more advanced or a lot more kind, period. Like, if we just learned to embrace change instead of resisting it, we would stop being angry with people we love simply because something changed or because they changed, and just embrace them or release them. You know, if certain change is too much for you or just doesn't fit in with your life, you are entitled to let that go or not include that in your life. As things change or as you change, you're allowed to change your surroundings. You're allowed to change what you allow in your life. And I feel like so many people feel like that's not actually possible or allowed, or it's frowned upon to continuously change your surroundings or the people you surround yourself with or your habits. But it's okay to change. It's actually good to change. Just like, let's say you have a workout regimen and it stops working for you. You stop losing weight or you stop building muscle, whatever you're working out for. That stops happening. Well, you're going to have to change your workout regimen. You're going to have to change something, whether it be the actual workouts themselves, or if you increase the workouts, increase the time of your workout, whatever it may be, you have to make a change in order for your body to start actually building muscle again or losing weight again. Because at a certain point, it's not going to work for you anymore because your body has reached the peak with that certain workout. So then you have to increase it in order for you to reach that peak. And that's how life works in general, not just workouts. You know, you find something you want to master, you master it, and then you change or increase. So that way you can master that. And you just continuously do that. That's what life is about. When you learn to embrace it, everything becomes easier. You just embrace the change. But yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you don't want your life to change, if you want to stay exactly the same, then that's cool. Nothing will change. Stay the same, do everything exactly the same, and nothing will change. But if you want to see better for yourself and better for your life, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to bring in new habits, mindsets, thought processes, ways of living. You're going to have to implement changes in order for your life to change. You can't do the same thing over and over again, live the same exact life every day and expect your life to change or get better. If you do the same workouts, eat the same food, listen to the same music, go to the same places, work the same job, always, and never change it, your life is going to look exactly the same. And if you're happy with that, that's fine. But if you want something different in your life, if you want to earn more money, maybe you're going to have to change your job or change your position within your job. Something is going to have to change if you want to improve, if you want to get better, if you're not satisfied with where you already are. You're going to have to change, and you're going to have to embrace that. And learning how to change on your own, change yourself and your habits and your life, helps you learn how to embrace external change that's out of your control. I feel like if I say the word change one more time, it'll no longer be a word. I've said it so many times. Anyways, you get the point, or I hope you do. I want to see all of us grow and excel in life. And one of the biggest things that will help you excel and grow in life is to embrace change. So stop resisting and embrace, grow. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Anyways, I love you, love yourself, and let's grow together.